It's a new year, and honestly, I would like nothing more than to just be here with you and move like my good old days. And obviously for today, I have my trapeze set up, so it'll be a flow for anybody to just move, stretch, and hopefully feel good in our bodies. I am set up on my standard height, which for me is standing on my toes, and my swing comes about to my hip flexors. You can hang your handles on that same rung. I tend to go one above just because that's what feels best in my body. Get yourself ready and we will begin. Happy New Year if you're watching this in real time. I haven't been behind the camera in like 6 months, actually more. So we'll have to see if this is like riding a bike. I've also had to since move my pole, which is really in the way of my camera angles. So we'll have to see how life is with my pole being where I don't want it. But we're gonna begin behind our swing. You can keep those feet a little bit wider, maybe mat distance, and some work for the spine. Start with a flat back, but pitch the belly forward and lift the tailbone to the ceiling. Come forward into what feels like your edge. You can keep the gaze down so you don't strain the neck. Sink to wherever you feel is most comfortable while pushing the hands away. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, and just like a reverse dominoes, you're gonna roll your way up, and then you're gonna go right back down. Flat back, coming to what feels like your edge, holding for a moment, just kind of sinking in, and then you'll roll back up. Next one we do, we're gonna hold. Notice here the similarity between this shape and a downward dog, right? So essentially I'm in a downward dog without that weight bearing issue on my hands and shoulders. Now I want you to hold the shape, but just begin to shift your weight from right foot to left foot. And just notice how that affects the hamstrings down to the calves, I should say. Make sure your sacrum is lifting to the ceiling, right? We want to get all the way up the back of the leg. Shift to the left, and if you can, begin to push further forward towards the toes versus the heel. And then coming back, shifting right, and then leaning forward. Stay with it, I know it's deep. Roll yourself back up. Whew. All right, coming through. Similar action, focusing more on the upper body now. Take the top handles, feet are parallel just underneath you. Lift the sacrum, drop the belly, and then push forward as you just did. So now I'm focusing on that thoracic work here, pushing the shoulder blades into my back and coming to what feels like my edge. Keep the chin parallel to the floor so you don't strain the neck by looking at the ceiling. If it's too much, just scale back. Take a breath. Roll up. Coming down, now we're in the middle handles. Lift the sacrum, drop the belly, come forward. I want you to press into the handles. Keep sinking the chest to the floor. Palms should be facing down towards the ground. Really slowly, I want you to begin to extend your arms out to the side until they're into a T position. And then try to sink deeper by squeezing those shoulder blades closer to center. The hands are naturally gonna rotate, holding onto those handles, coming further into a fold, and the palms should end up facing each other as you fold all the way down. If this feels good, stay. If you want to go deeper, begin to send your body weight to your toes and really allow the stretch to hit through the tops of those shoulder heads. come out the way you came in, sink back onto your heels, pass through that little T, and then you'll find your way up. Okay, releasing the handles. I will face you. I feel like camera. It's easier for me to face you. We're gonna go top handle and the outside part of your body. So we're gonna create a little banana curve here, or a little crescent or half moon. So top handle and knife edge of your foot, I want you to lean away. You don't need a hand to hold, but you can if you need to. Turn into the swing. And then try turning away from the swing. So good. And back, and up. Second side. We're stretching by leaning away. Turn into first. Navel to spine. Start turning away. If one spot feels better than the other, stay there. All right, nice and slow, roll your way up. I miss stretching with you guys a lot. Now that you're somewhat warm, let's take a downward dog, which I could barely touch my floor. My swing is so high. Push the ground away, push the heels away, and you might be on the ground with your toes. It honestly depends on the height of your hammock and the angle of your legs. Either one is fine, but do flex and really push through the heels. You're also pushing through your hands. What's going on with your head here? So long through the back of the neck, give it a shake. And gently relax. Everything, as long as you're comfortable to do so, you're gonna hang. Let everything go. And I want you to notice here we have the ability to really traction our spine. So by hanging like this, I'm literally allowing gravity to bring a little more space and decompression. We don't need fancy inversion tables. All you need is to hang and swing. From here, hands to the floor, walking forward to find your way up. We're gonna take a quick seat. So climb your way in. And I wanted to do a boat, just to get a little fire in that core. Hold on to your panels as you lean back. Knees will come into the chest. And of course, this can be a boat here where you're just trying to hover and hold. If you're feeling confident, we want to go straight legs. And of course, if you're feeling confident still, you're gonna go hands floating. And shaking is a bonus here, so look for it. Stay with it for 5, 4, 3, 2. It's like watching water boil, right? 1, release. Catch the elbows behind the swing and just lean forward. I want you to take this time to set an intention for yourself. I want you to think of one way in which you can change for the better. Tiny, tiny, tiny. 1 degree in a different direction. Roll up. I want you to think about one small little change, 1 degree change over the course of miles ends up being a lot of change, a lot of distance. Boat pose again. Knees, legs, hands, or holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. And we're going to be working on our exit. Of course, if it looks too scary, don't do it. It is core activation, so that's what I want you to focus on. And feel free to watch first if you've not gone through this series before. I'm going to lay back, and my goal is to really pike. I want to think about bringing my thighs as close to my body as possible until I can touch the ground. So at some point you will be hovering. I'm going to keep those thighs close, and then I'm going to slowly touch down with control, rolling up. It's kind of a fun way to exit. Let's go ahead and get that right foot in. So we're going to start with that knee behind our swing. Grab onto both panels and just take a twist because we've not done much twisting yet. So go ahead and twist to the right. Relax your shoulders, stand tall. How far can you go? If you pull on the panels with the left, you might notice you twist deeper. Take that right arm all the way up and over till you can grab the left handle. And then try to pull on the left handle as you try to twist deeper. Release. Come forward and holding on to panels or handles, your choice. I'm gonna lift that back heel and just kind of sink in. Don't actually need my hands there. My focus here usually is always that hip flexor on that left side, but I want you to hold this position. Try to keep your hips square by pulling the right hip back, but I want you to try to slowly push your heel towards the floor on that left foot versus lift it, right? So I want you to try to push it as far down as you can go. Once again, panels in that left hand, open up to the right. And release, coming up and going deeper yet to the ankle. Let's do a couple points and flexes. Hips are square. Come to what feels like your edge by just pulling the panels towards you and keep a flat back. Once you're there, add a couple points and flexes. Flex and hold. Grab those panels. I feel like I've got lots of twisting happening. So good for the spine. So we'll do it. Rotate, pull with your left hand. Try to squeeze that shoulder blade into your back. And center. Lift that heel. Come as far forward as you can while pulling the right hip back and the left hip forward. And then from there, you're gonna once again try to sink your left heel to the floor. And up. All right, from here, pivot so that you're facing to the side. I think of this similar to like a triangle. Let's go ahead and come forward. Keep those inner thighs strong. Come to what feels like a comfortable edge. You're not like, God, take me out of this, right? So just come to what feels like your edge and then make it a triangle. Right arm is gonna press against leg. Left arm is gonna reach to ceiling. Keep pushing against that leg and think of yourself as sliding through a pane of glass like triangle would, Trikonasana. Give me one more breath, hold. Strong legs, both of them. And back to center. All right, coming through. Let's go to the knee. We'll climb into a seat. just to get to the other side. And once more, I want you to do your little thoracic opening here. Now that we're getting a little bit more warmed up, and if you feel free to do so, let the body weight come forward. Keep trying to lift the sacrum, forcing that arch through the spine. One more breath. And exhale, rolling up. Passing through. Left side will come in. We started with a twist. If you don't like where you are, little hop will put you right underneath your plumb line. Hold on to those panels with the right. We're twisting with the left. Micro movements here, so sometimes you just can't twist. You need to roll the shoulders, set them in place, then take your twist. Micro movements. Get in your body. That arm that's behind you reaches up, 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 and across. So we come to the right handle, and then try to pull on that handle, pull on those panels. Can you twist deeper upper body? And release. With or without hands, you're gonna come through, right? Just coming into that initial stretch. Hip flexor, square off, left hip back, right hip forward. Take a twist, both panels once again. Swinging behind with that left hand, work that rotation. Engage your glutes. Continue to stay forward. Yes, right? So press as far forward as you can go, and then start to slowly try to sink that heel. Think Achilles tendon, think calf. So try to sink. And up. Whew. Ankle. From here, couple points and flexes with a flat back. So hinge, right? Flat back comes forward by pulling towards you with those hands. Point and flex. Flex and hold. Try to drive that left hip back. Mine will always cheat. Now come forward to wherever feels like your edge. You're at your edge. Now try to push that heel towards the ground again. And back. From here, take one more twist just for good measures. Rotate to the left. And release. You pivot right. Yes, we have our little triangle. We are sliding through our pane of glass. Think first, control. Right? You shouldn't feel like, God, take me out of this. I can still pull out of it at any time. You're gonna come into what feels like your edge, looking for mine. Once you're there, push into that leg. Open up, pane of glass. The more you push into your leg with that left arm, the more you're gonna feel yourself stacking those lungs, one on top of the other. Control the way out. And up. This time we can just release. Step in with your right foot. Make sure you are exposed here. So I want my heel out and I want my toes out. This is gonna take us through. I wanna make sure we get nice and deep into that quad. Step through and that right foot will come out and to the floor. Use this to take yourself into a downward dog or three-legged that is. Come down to the floor And once the hands land, right foot pops back. Depending on your flexibility here, you might be in somewhat of a downward dog. Others are going to be able to walk themselves into more of a standing split by taking your hands closer, closer, closer to your foot. And then, of course, if you can, grab the leg itself and you'll pull yourself in. Go ahead and look forward. Hands will once again walk back if you took a little ride. High plank, hands to the floor. Both feet will come in. Really push the ground away. One straight line from toes to head. One more inhale. On the exhale, release left knee. So right foot is in. Go ahead and take a nice deep stretch here. Once again, quad, hip flexors. Straight leg first, push into the fabric. Then flex the foot and bend the knee. And see if you can't walk a little bit further back. Right, the further I walk back and the more I allow that sink, the more I can feel it down the front of the thigh. Straighten, push, and flex and drop. Let's keep that leg bent, so notice the foot is flexed there, and I don't know if you can see it. Send your body weight back, try to get a little bit deeper. Side plank variation. Left hand will stay down, put it right in front of the leg. Pivot. So your knee now points to the ceiling and just open. Hand could be to the ceiling, it could also come by the ear. And release. Take that pivot down, all the way down, and back up. So you can grab the handles, you can grab the swing, and tuck. From here, if you want to work those abs, upper body, pull down and think of really scooping with your abs. So as I pull down, I'm going to think of floating my way up, or working yourself up to floating yourself up. Side two, we come in. Remember, we need heel and foot out, or else we can't escape when we want. Stepping through. Your left foot should be on the floor, and this time your right foot is in. Downward dog transition, three-legged. So coming down, left foot pops back, and then this might be a good stretch. If you know those hammies are willing and ready, then you're working back with your hands. The further back you go, hopefully you can actually grab the leg and kind of fold in from there. Squeeze that standing leg. And forward. Coming through, high plank, stepping in with both feet. Stay strong here with me, nice flat back. It will be the right knee that drops and pushes into that little high pigeon-like variation. Hold here, straight leg to start. And then flexes through the foot to bend and sink. Here we want to push back through that body weight. So can we activate through that quad? I'm also thinking about taking my heel and kind of pulling it towards me for a deeper stretch. So really activate your hamstring. And push. and flex, 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 flex. Hold and squeeze. Right hand comes further forward. Let that help you pivot and twist. Rotate that knee to the ceiling. I think of like taking my chest to the ceiling, coming into that side plank variation. And release. Knees down, coming up. I do want to emphasize those little extra challenges. So if you want to take your float, now is the time. You pull down, you float up, you hold for the release. Whew. Okay. I am going to open, so join me. We're gonna take it into our seat, which will be also our inversion. So climb in. So for this one, it's more of a very wrapped variation in that inversion. We want to make sure our knees can still wrap around that fabric. So as you're coming back, if you need to adjust, just pull the fabric down a bit, out and around. You can either hook your ankles to the fabric itself, or I go feet together like a diamond. As you come into your fold, opposite elbow, I'm gonna ragdoll those arms, shake the head yes or no. Back into spinal decompression. So good. I miss this. And this is fine, you can stay here. For those of you who want a little bit of extra, I'm gonna go into that thoracic opening. So I'm quite high in my hammock, so I can barely take this, but palms to the floor behind you to really get that little bit of extra stretch. And slowly relax. Please come up slowly. Hands are going to reach out for fabric. Lift the head first. Open the legs, gently come up and around into that little catch. Same thing here, catching the elbows in the fabric as you lean forward. Roll up. Hands out to the side and eventually come into heart center. Close your eyes, sit tall. Notice any subtle changes in mind and body after spending time with me and your body, away from our problems. We haven't fixed everything. Probably fixed nothing. But using these practices to help you escape and also become more resilient. I am honored and humbled to be here with you. Namaste. Hopefully you've enjoyed that one. These are here for you to do whenever you'd like, ad and commercial free. Because I feel like our time is sacred and I'm not going to interrupt what we do together for an ad. So browse the channel if you're new, of course, like and subscribe, and hopefully in the new year I could talk to you a little bit about where I've been for the past 6 months and do more stuff like this with you. Until I work with you again, namaste.